Welcome to the June 11, 2026, the Grok IPO edition. Yes, tomorrow SpaceX IPO comes about, but let's be real. This is really not about SpaceX. The name is SpaceX, but it's really the AI IPO. That's how Elon sees it. To be clear, an initial public offering is the first time that little people like you and I have a chance to buy stock in a company. This is what's called going public. In 2004, I bought a house. And if you've ever bought a house, you know what a money pit houses are. Google IPO'd on August 19th, and I urged my parents, who I knew had money available, I urged them to put $1,000 down. They didn't do it. From August 19th to October 22nd, Google's share price doubled. So in just a couple of months, you could have doubled your money had you invested in Google at the IPO. And of course, it is now 65 times the price it was at the IPO. So buying a stock at an IPO can be a good thing if the company is a phenomenal company like Google is, and if the price is right, which the price was right for Google. That's why I urge my parents to buy. SpaceX was founded in 2002. And to be clear, as much as the right wing in America wants to go against spending money on frivolous things, SpaceX only exists because of money that George W. Bush allocated to try to get the private sector into the space race. George W. Bush was right about this. Getting Boeing and other companies involved was a great idea. Yay. So SpaceX was founded in 2002. And Elon said, NASA and Boeing are going too slow. I can do it better. And he did. He's the first CEO of a company that actually got rockets able to land back on a pad, as you can see in this picture. That's never been done before. And I love every time they launch and I get to see the rockets land back. I love it. It's awesome. Yay, SpaceX. A couple years ago, Elon bought Twitter, and he famously walked into Twitter headquarters carrying a sink and said, "Let that sink in." And then he proceeded to fire two-thirds of Twitter employees. So if you're thinking Elon Musk is an asshole, trust your instincts. Now let's look at the SpaceX IPO. If it were just purely SpaceX, I'd be like, go for it, buy this IPO. But this SpaceX IPO is a whole lot more than just SpaceX. It is SpaceX, Starlink, which I've never used, but everybody who uses Starlink says it's amazing. Your ability to get internet in the middle of absolutely nowhere, truly amazing. So, two phenomenal companies, SpaceX and Starlink. It also includes X, formerly known as Twitter, which Elon spent $44 billion buying Twitter, and the revenue coming into Twitter doesn't even justify one-fourth that price, but let that go. Let that go. That's not the killer on this. The killer on this is XAI, also known as Grok. Yeah, that's the killer. At what price? So Snap, I've never used Snapchat. But Snap back in the day IPO'd at $18. And I told my students when it IPO'd that this is a ridiculous valuation. It's insane. It popped the first day to $24. So people who were able to buy it at 18, it went to 24. They made a 33% return on their money. Yay, good for them. And but then it just went down, down, down after the IPO. Then the pandemic came, and so you're seeing the chart there. Let's just admit the fact that the pandemic is a weird world. So let the pandemic go. Today, Snap is at $5.22, and I don't see it going up majorly at any point soon. So my point is, if you invest in Google in the IPO, woohoo! It's a great company at a great price, worth investing in Google. Snap, was not worth it at $18 at its IPO price. As I told my students at the time, I'm like, this is not a company worth what they're trying to get. It wasn't. It wasn't then. It isn't now. Yeah, don't buy Snap. SpaceX makes money. Starlink makes money. But at what price is it a valuable idea to buy them? So, what is the fair value for SpaceX? I have watched four deep dives, people who this is what they do for a living, analysts that this is what they do. And of the four, the lowest valued SpaceX at $600 million, and the highest had it valued at $1.2 trillion. The highest was from Professor Aswath Damodaran, who is my favorite analyst in finance. Um, but anyhow, so he's not buying this IPO because this IPO is coming in at 1.8 trillion. So he's like, it's just overvalued. So he's like, is it worth buying SpaceX? Yes, but not at this price. The lowest person on this came in and said, not the lowest, the 600 million. There's another analyst who didn't even do the analysis, but he came in and said, look, there is no valuation for SpaceX that is worth it because, and this is his analogy, that the profit from SpaceX and Starlink is $1. The loss of XAI, Grok, is $6. And Elon has already committed that he's going to spend double that on XAI in the coming year. There is no world where Starlink and SpaceX could ever make the money to pay for what it's losing from XAI. So his thing was, I wouldn't buy this at any price until they get rid of XAI. So here is my quote for you. My quote for you is, if you put concrete shoes on Michael Phelps, he will sink. That is what XAI is to SpaceX. I genuinely do not like Elon Musk. There will be people tomorrow who will be able to get the SpaceX IPO at its opening price, and they will be able to sell it on Monday for a big pop. They'll make money. Just as the people who were able to get in on the Snap IPO, they're going to be able to sell it at a higher price. A year from now, I'm willing to bet the same thing I told my students about Snap. I do not believe that SpaceX will be valued anywhere near what it's being valued at now, just because XAI is the term they're using. And I love this phrase. It's been used by all analysts that I've seen doing this seriously, people not getting paid by Elon Musk to say it. People who are not getting paid by Elon Musk refer to XAI as a money furnace. So, yeah, investing in a money furnace, not a great investment. I wish my parents had followed my advice and bought into Google in August of 2004. They didn't. I understand why they didn't, but my parents, I understand why. I also understand that had I not bought my house, I would have, and how different my life would be if I hadn't bought the house. Ugh, you can't go back in time. Those of you who buy SpaceX, I wish you well.